What's up, guys and gals? Today we're going to see how this Slammer 5500 fared being submerged for hours in salt water. Hopefully well, but we'll find out. One note is that I think it was somewhere in the neighborhood of 4 to 6 hours it was submerged, and it was washed down with fresh water afterwards. So that does help. So we're going to start with the top part, which is a drag and the spool, and see how that looks. And there may not be a lot of talking on my part in this, and there may be a whole bunch. Don't know. Alright, so there's evidence of water intrusion there, right? So there's that little liquidy stuff. It just means water got in contact with it, and it kind of breaks the grease down a little bit. Could be fresh, could be salt. I'm not going to taste it and find out. If you want to see a full breakdown of one of these reels, obviously this is not going to be that kind of video. You can see the link at the end of this video. Let's go ahead and check the drags and see how it's going to look inside. So we're still seeing that same sort of water mixing with grease scenario stuff happening here. Nothing terrible yet. Test is one of these coming out. You can hear the crunchiness there. And one thing I can tell you about sand, and if you fish on the beach, I think you know this already, but once you get sand in your reel, it is near impossible to get rid of all of it. So you have to be okay with a certain level of crunchiness. And I don't mean excessive, I just mean some, every so often. Crunchiness when you're using the reel. Especially when you get that really fine particle kind of sand. Let's go ahead and pop this up and see what's looking like under there. Nothing bad so far. Nothing bad so far. Alright, let's get to the nitty gritty. I'll definitely be curious to see how it looks under here. Alright, so let's see what we got going on. All that looks pretty good to me. I mean, the fact that there's still grease there, I like. So that's always a good thing. That does not look bad. That looks like it may have survived any inundation of water, which is pretty good. Huh. Oh yeah, that looks pretty good there. Check that out. Make sure you guys can see it. Yeah, that looks good up in there. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Alright, I'm going to set this to the side. That is not bad at all. Let's go ahead and pop this handle off and see what it looks like under here. That doesn't look bad yet. That looks pretty good too. I'm going to open this up. Let's see what we have here. We got water. It smells like, I don't know what it smells like, but I can't taste it. Sorry. It smells kind of brackish, so it could be a mix of the fresh water that was used to wash it down and some of the salt water. But what that does say is that this seal around here, the O-ring, failed. And it's intact. So it didn't fail because it broke, it just failed because it failed. Alright, now since this is a handle knob and it doesn't really do a whole lot of work, if these bearings are good, which it feels like they probably are, when I take this apart, what I'm going to do is just flush them out, possibly, or just add oil to it. And the reason being is because, like I said, there's not a lot of that happening with the reel. You're basically doing this, and that's the turn it's having. It's not the worst thing in the world for these to not spin as great as they used to spin. So, that's that. Alright, so I just took this cap off for this, and that looks pretty good under there. That looks good. It's really all looking good so far, honestly. I'm liking what I'm seeing. That much I can say. And I expect there to be some stuff in here, right? I mean, it's not impossible for it to not have anything wrong with it. A little bit of either sand or corrosion there. Can't tell which one. Let's pop this up and see. Alright, good. We finally have something. Wow, that's it? Wow. Nothing under here. We'll see this in a sec. Just that there, which is nothing so far. Well, I can't wait to get inside here and see how this looks. Alright, let's check this out. I'm going to listen for sounds is what I'm listening for. Very little sand. Nope, I don't know if there's any sand there at all. I think I hear some. Alright, let's open this line roller up. I'm going to see how that held up. Now, granted, these are not supposed to be submerged in water, especially for long periods of time, but it doesn't mean they can't do it. So when I break this down, what I'm going to look for is possible signs of rust on the bearing. But the fact that this screw is coming out, I'm pleased with, because nothing is seized up so far. Nothing there. That looks good. I think we'll probably end up replacing this anyhow, since the line, because the line roller bearing, we don't want to mess with that locking up on the customer. But we're going to test it out in a sec. Let me just pop these things out of here. Oh yeah, that looks good. Granted, all this stuff could be because the customer washed it down with fresh water afterwards. But nonetheless, it gives me meaning to take a licking and keep on ticking. Alright, let's get inside here. I'm going to open this up because I want to see inside the bail spring area. Huh. Now, if you told me that this was in muck and salt water, like on the bay sort of thing, I may not believe you looking at, yeah, I would not believe you looking at this, but I do believe you looking at this, so I know it was. Huh. I apologize for the lack of words. I'm actually really surprised, but pleasantly surprised of how well this held up. I really am. Alright, let's test the bearing out. Yeah, it's noisy. Expected. Should be noisy. Should be bad, or should be going bad, because it was sitting in salt water. So we'll replace that. The last thing, well, last couple things we're going to check is this right here, the pinion stack, and the inside of the reel. I'm going to open this up first, just to see it, and then I'm going to carefully open this stuff up here. And I'll tell you why I'm doing this, or I'll show you why I'm doing this afterwards. Alright, come on, baby. Be as good as the rest of the reel. That would be awesome. It's good. It's good, but we got some water inside, and I think that's probably the person hosing it down. There's water right there. I don't believe that's from the salt water at all. Nope, doesn't smell like it at all. This is very impressive. This is very pleasing. Alright, so I'm going to undo, let's get this down. I'm going to undo this pinion stack, or the shaft, and then I will close it back up after I remove that main gear. because I don't want any of this stuff up here falling inside. And I'm not ready to work on this. There will still be some risk of it because I'm going to have an opening right there at the top, but less likely. So let's pull this out. Oh yeah. Yep, and that you can tell the discoloration happens when you get water mixing with it. Wow, I'm just really impressed with it. I honestly am. Alright, where's my cover? Alright, let's close this back up. Get that sealed off so it less likely for any of this crud to fall inside of it. Now granted, this is only one reel, so it could, you know, different reels could be different. You know, I mean, different slammers could be different, but I don't think they can be that different, can they? Yeah, I don't think so. So I think it's a pretty good testament to the reel. A couple bearings that you may need to replace, like on the handle if you wanted to, and on the line roller. But I mean, beyond that, not a lot of stuff happening. Even that works. And that's one of the things that should actually be kind of seized up and sluggish because it gets inundated with water, right? It kind of just sits there like this, like a shroud, and it doesn't go anywhere. So it just starts to eat away at stuff, build up corrosion, but that's not the case. Alright, this is the last thing we're going to check for. That's it. This pinion stack. I'm going to kind of keep this sideways. Now I've loosened those up. I'm not gonna pause the camera or anything. Well, I'm gonna jump cut to something else. I'm gonna clean this stuff off before I get inside there because I don't want to risk anything kind of going inside. So I will just come back to you guys in a sec. All right, let's continue on. Notice the angle I'm holding this at. That's obviously to protect that big old hole that's in there. I have my glasses on, so I don't see much. Nope, don't see much there either. Alright, let's pull this out. It came out. And I don't see much there either. Is this stuck together? Let's stick that over here instead. Nope, it's good. Really good. Huh. Kinda good. It's good. It's fine. This is the bottom bearing. Look at that difference in the color. Do you think that's manufacturing or because it interacted with water? Let's show you so you can see the difference. I don't know. I don't know. All right. Listen, all I'm going to say to you on this reel is wow. Wow is what I'm going to say. This is very impressive for what I've seen, knowing where this reel came from. Simply amazing, I think. I can tell you that whatever I see here, it is not supposed to be, I don't think it's supposed to be able to handle this kind of situation. Yeah, I'm very impressed. Alright guys, if you found the video useful, please hit that thumbs up button. If you appreciate content like this, consider subscribing to the channel, of course, and spreading the word about it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.